Alright, this video is going to cover how to create a new invoice in OrderTrac. First thing you're going to do is go to the Invoices tab and click on New Invoice. That opens up a new invoice. First thing we're going to do is select a customer. So we can either search for a customer or go ahead and create a new customer. So let's say the customer has been in the store already, so you can search for a customer by any of these boxes or any combination of these boxes. So we're going to hit search, and here's a couple Jacks that we found, and let's say Jack Smith is the guy we're looking for. So we're going to select him. Like I said, if the customer didn't exist, then you could go ahead and click new on either this screen or the screen we were just on. The next thing we're going to do is select invoice options over here, such as employee, so we can choose who's writing up the invoice. If this is a quote, you can enable that, and it disables all payments, and it doesn't save, it doesn't count on the reports as an actual sale. It just shows up as a quote, temporary quote. So we'll disable that for now. Financing, you can choose different financing methods if that's how the sale is being sold. The order notes, you can just enter any type of order note, just a note about the customer, a note about the sale, whatever you want to go can go in this box. And so the next thing is going to be just to start adding items. So if we just add a quantity, and then you can type in pretty lengthy description here if you want. The shorter the better, but just get all the details in there. Type in the stain, the style, the size, the color, all that good stuff. And then the price, and then that automatically calculates the total. The next thing you do is you select your manufacturer. We're gonna select the chair company. The next thing is you can either choose what type of item this is. It's either a stock item, an item you're going to have to order, or another charge. The charge could be like a delivery charge or something like that, a discount maybe. So let's say this particular item we have in stock. Now, once it's in stock, they can either take it home now, which is going to close it out of the system, or maybe you're going to deliver it later, or they're going to pick it up. So you still want to have this item show up as being on hand and not being closed out. So this particular item will say that they are taking it home now. You choose whether it's taxed or not, and then add it to the invoice. We'll add another item. This is going to be a table. Now this table, once again, add all of your description in there, add the price of the table, the manufacturer. We'll say this is an ordered item, and then when it's an ordered item, you have the option of choosing an estimated arrival date. This is the date that is estimated to arrive at the store, which is in 6 weeks or whatever. In the preferences, you can set like a default date right here, or a default length like 6 weeks. So let's say we know this manufacturer and we know it's gonna arrive somewhere around April 30th. So we'll choose that. This just allows for more accurate forecasting, like when the item is actually gonna come in. So we click add. I'm gonna do one more item. We'll say it's a Lazy Susan. And we'll say this item is a stock item, but they're not taking it home now. That'll be delivered later. So we're just not going to choose that option. It's taxed, add, and then we're done. So you can see that on the actual statuses right here, the brown chairs, it was a stock item, but it's closed out because they're actually taking it home with us now. So we don't want to keep track of it anymore because it's closed, it's done. The table, it's just beginning the order process. It now moves to the status of needing to be ordered, so it's to be ordered. And then the Lazy Susan, it's a stock item, and it's on hand. It's already in the store. So finally, we'll say that's all that there is to add to the invoice. So now you need to add the payments. So if it's a, you choose your payment type. If it's a down payment, we'll say they chose $500 down payment. The payment date, it's automatically set to today. And then we can just choose our payment type and then add. So once the payment is added, it automatically calculates the totals down here. And you can even add a discount right here if you want to do that. Subtract an actual dollar amount. Another thing with the payments, you can also choose a refund payment, which subtracts that total, or if it's a layaway payment, the system will keep track of all invoices that have a layaway payment, and therefore it'll flag an invoice where a layaway payment is due. So maybe we'll say they did another $500 using a credit card, or let's say a cash. So now you can add as many payments as you want, and it keeps the running total over here. So now that our invoice has been created, you can close out of it and it just saves it, doesn't do anything else, or we can go ahead and print our receipt. When you print a receipt, you have the option of printing a delivery receipt. We'll go ahead and do that so we can show you what that is. I'm going to print it to my desktop so you can see what the actual receipt looks like. And now that it's printed, here is what the receipt would actually print to look like. Your store information is going to show up in the top left over here. Any payments, the top 6 payments are going to show up just because there's limited space. So you can at a glance see what payments have been applied towards this sale. You have your employee, date, invoice, all that information. You get your customer information here with their phone numbers. And then you have all of your items. Notice there's a little stock right here beside the item, so you can at a glance tell what type of an item that was. The little T over here shows if it was taxed or not. The T shows up if it was taxed. And then you have a store copy, a customer copy, and then this here was the delivery copy. That's what we chose to have delivered. And the reason for that is, back up here on the store copy, right away when you sell the item, the customer is going to get a copy and you're going to get a copy. So your copy is obviously the store copy here. You're going to get your customer's signature on the store copy. It also is going to give you a little extra information down here, such as the total taxed amount on this invoice, and then the total non-taxed amount. So it's just handy for when it comes time for tax time. It just gives you a quick little total of the total taxes on this sale. All your legal information is going to show up right here. All this can be changed in your preferences. And then this here is the customer copy. Notice there's no need for a customer signature because it's their own copy. Other than that, it's identical. No tax information down here in the bottom like the store copy did. And then the delivery copy is meant for when you actually go to deliver the furniture. That way, once again, you can record any payments that were accepted whenever the delivery took place, and then that way you have something to bring back to the store and update OrderTrac with. So that's the your invoices, your printed invoices, and then back here on the invoice tab, all of your invoices are going to show up. Your most recent at the top, and here's the one on the top. Here is the one we just did. You can double click it to open it up just like it was before. If you need to print the receipt again, if you need to apply another payment, let's say they came back the next day and wanted to apply another payment. This time it's with a check, and then once again now you can see that the balance due is been reduced. And one other thing I forgot to mention was if you ever need to create an invoice for a past sale, like let's say yesterday you need to put in a sale that was put in yesterday for some reason, you can change the actual date of the invoice right there. It's automatically set to today, but you can always go back and backdate an invoice. And now you can see that's an old date now. And then we're going to close that. And so that's how to create an invoice. You can actually search for an invoice using these fields over here. First you want to do is clear it so that you're not searching by any fields or any data that's already left in a field, because this searches by all items in these fields on the top half or by the first and the last name, or whichever you choose. So let's say we want to search for all the invoices where the customer's first name is Jack. Search, and there we go. We have 2 invoices. We have a Jack Miller and a Jack Smith, and this is the one we just did. You can clear that, or you can search by employee. There's it is again. You can choose like a date range or an invoice ID. You can search by any of that. Up here you have filters for your to filter all these invoices that are shown here. Right now it's showing all of them, but there is like a balanced due of greater than 0, so you can see all items where you're still owed money. Then as of right now you can see they're all greater than 0. Recent invoices, when you have a ton of invoices listed here, this just shows the top handful of them. If you have a quote, all your quotes would show up right here, rather than being mixed in with all of them here. So say a customer comes back looking for, wanting to actually buy what they were quoted for earlier, you can just click quotes, go find them, and then just start up that invoice, which if we did that real quick, let's say we're going to create a quote real quick. I'm just going to hit search, and it shows all of our customers here. Let's say this is our customer right here. She wants a quote for a bed. It's $9.99, and we're going to click quote up here to make this a quote. The manufacturer's that right there. It's going to be in order because we don't have it in stock. You click add, and then you just hit close. So there, the quote, all quotes are saved in a light blue. So that way at a quick glance you can tell that wasn't an actual sale but just a quote. And then so if we hit quotes over here, well, then it shows up as being the one quote that we have saved so far. And that's it for invoices. We'll cover items in another video.